The development of AIO coolers has sparked intense rivalry in the CPU cooling industry. There are many fantastic devices available now in several shapes and sizes. But it can be hard to choose the suitable device for your needs because there are so many things to think about. Through AIO CPU coolers, your CPU can cool effectively. Even AMD and NVIDIA graphics cards fit perfectly with these tiny liquid coolers. Since the air inside the casing is sealed off, cleaning dust buildup becomes simple. There are many AIO coolers on the market, which makes it hard to pick the best one. Whether you're looking for a cheap AIO or a costly one, we've got you covered. Kicking off this list, on number 5 is the ID Cooling Auraflow X240 Snow CPU Water Cooler. This is priced at about $70. In our opinion, this is one of the best budget AIO coolers. Compared to the other more established CPU cooling brands in this list, ID Cooling is relatively new, but that does not mean it cannot keep up with the others. The Auraflow X240 Snow is an all-white version of the X240. It fits great with those clean-looking light PC builds. Its clean-looking exterior makes it harder to believe that this cooler belongs to the budget category. The X240 Snow's price range plays around to those of the 120mm variations but still offers the performance of a 240mm AIO. The ID Cooling Auraflow X240 strong point is not only its price range. It also provides a wide range of compatibility with different CPU sockets, simplicity, a sleek design, and a sturdy build. If the RGB header can pair with your motherboard, you can customize your addressable RGB however you want. But if your motherboard does not support it, it poses no problem as the X240 has a wired controller powered by a SATA cable. The fan LEDs appear a little dim, but that is because the light source is centralized, unlike the usual RGB frame setup. Its cooling performance is good relative to its price range. When tested on an overclocked Ryzen 2700 CPU at a 25 degrees Celsius ambient temperature, the X240 gave around 68 degrees Celsius at 100% fan speed. The approach that ID Cooling went with here is that they offered a glimpse of what an AIO cooler can be. The unit can be better, but they cut the cost for accessibility. This is good for first-timers who are shifting toward the world of AIO liquid coolers. Number 4. MSI MAG CoreLiquid 240R. It costs around $95. This is the best value 240mm AIO CPU liquid cooler of this list. This is one of the newer AIO CPU liquid coolers. It is MSI's latest entry. It has quality materials and effective heat dissipation technology. It also has unique features like a 270-degree rotating and artistic blockhead that lights up. It also integrates the pump into the radiator, improving its durability as it is now further away from the heat source. The rotatable blockhead design is not just an aesthetic choice, but it also gives the user the freedom to find the best angle at which the tubes can go to the blockhead without stressing the material, thus having an easier time installing the cooler. Controlling the speed and the color of the RGB fans is made easier through MSI's software. The synthesis of the radiator and the pump is said to have a sound dampening and noise reduction effect. In terms of thermal dissipation, another smart design is implemented by MSI by splitting the path of the warm liquid for faster dissipation. Some stress tests on the cooler gave around 70 degrees Celsius on heavy load. The changes in the design and structure of a typical AIO cooler might not be groundbreaking, but a little goes a long way in terms of the convenience it gives to the user. This AIO cooler offered a more user-friendly installation by adding a huge amount of socket mounting compatibility. Its thermal performance did not disappoint, and any disadvantages that the CoreLiquid 240R poses are outshined by its cool structure and vibrant RGB lights. The third product on this top is the NZXT Kraken CPU liquid cooler. The best light customization cooler. It is priced at around $125. You need the best AIO coolers for optimal performance. The NZXT Kraken cooler is made by a well-known company that is known for making high-performance CPU coolers. In terms of noise level, we consider it the best performing cooler. Let's begin with the radiator, which has a 240mm fan. If you are familiar with radiators, you would know that 240mm is decent for such a system. A 10% bigger LED ring allows for more vivid RGB. A rotatable top accommodates reorienting the logo no matter the direction in which the cooler is installed. The AirP radiator fans feature a chamfered intake and fluid dynamic bearing that provides silent operations, durability, and powerful cooling performance. You can expect a 6-year warranty since it is produced by a reputable brand. As a result, it can last for a long time before you consider purchasing a new AIO cooler. Regardless of your requirements, this CPU cooler will keep your CPU cool. While some AIOs come with integrated reservoirs, the NZXT Kraken offers more compatibility. Interestingly, compatibility isn't an issue, as it works perfectly with AMD and Intel CPU sockets. Finally, the NZXT Kraken CPU cooler is a wise choice if you consider building a personalized water cooling loop. If you want to cross-platform, you must install some adapters. The second product on our list is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 240. You can get it at a reasonable price of $100. The best compatible cooler. Looking at this AIO, you will discover nothing is ordinary. Unlike the usual thickness clocks, this measures 10 mm with equivalent modifications in fin density. Remarkably, Arctic uses two P12 fans for efficient and unrestricted airflow. The pump head with a divisive design is more intriguing as it looks like a spaceship when you add another small fan. However, you might need help finding RGB in other coolers. Nonetheless, it tends to balance things out because it provides a minor concern for cooling the motherboard VRM. In addition, it can help reduce your GPU temperature. Of course, you want air to flow freely. The AIO cooler blows air in 3 directions. So far, all the AIO on our list are easy to install. The Arctic Liquid Freezer is not an exemption as we declare it as the best 240mm AIO cooler for newbies. The fans are well connected to the radiator because the power cables go through the pipes in the head unit, which are easy to bend. It is easy to plug and secure the pump head since it uses a single PWM cable to manage the power cables. Overall, it is among the cheapest coolers you can find online. However, it can still perform optimally. Indeed, it is suitable for gamers who want a cheap, high-performance cooler. Using an external mounting kit, you can use the AIO cooler for AMD and Intel CPUs. And finally, the first product here on our list is the Corsair iCUE H100i RGB. It is priced at around $140. If you have searched for the best 240mm AIO cooler, you might have come across several options, including a Corsair. It is among the leading manufacturers of computer components and CPU coolers. The Corsair iCUE H100i is a premium cooler for your gaming computer. Even though it's pricey, it's worth every penny, especially if you want something easy to set up and silent when not in use. This AIO cooler has a fan that can go as fast as 2,400 RPM and works well. Interestingly, you can customize or tune the fan speed down to as low as 400 RPM if you prefer a silent performance. How many AIO coolers will offer such an option? Why is this the best 240mm AIO? Looking at the radiator, it is quite a low profile despite the system offering fully customizable RGB lighting. In terms of noise level, this unique Corsair iCUE H100i cooler has a low decibel noise output, with 377 decibels as the lowest noise output setting. While having a small noise level, it can deliver a maximum of 75 cubic feet every minute. In addition, the cooler comes with two 120mm fans, to ensure efficient performance. The fans are ML series magnetic levitation, available on the cooler radiator. Lastly, system builders greatly benefit from combining the cooler with customized software tools. If you are on a tight budget, this might not be the best AIO cooler. In addition, you should watch out for those noisy fans. Besides this, we believe the Corsair iCUE H100i RGB Pro XT is the best RGB AIO cooler.